I'm Nick Storm, Nicholas Robert Grossman. I'm a psychic and a shaman in Connecticut, and we're here to bring you on a supernatural expedition here at Stepney Cemetery. Right now we're standing here on the green here. What you can see is across the street, this chapel here, which is actually known to have done the most exorcisms in the United States. It's very possible that this is the cause of, the actual haunting here. I mean, it's very possible that, stuff had got loose and stuff like that, along with a few other reasons for, this to be one of the most haunted cemeteries in America. Home to the White Lady. You have the Union Cemetery in Easton, miles down, and then you have this one. There's also another cemetery next to it, but this cemetery is said to be even more haunted than the Union Cemetery in Easton. As a matter of fact, I actually have caught the White Lady, a photo of her, and but I definitely see right now what we call pre-manifestation orbs flying around. And an orb is the form of a spirit right before it's about to make itself an appearance. And what it does is it uses the elements of the environment around it to take advantage of, making it have elements to appear, like moisture, heat, static electricity, electromagnetic radiation, and all that stuff. But this is definitely the church right here. And as you can see, it's very old-fashioned. There's one side for men and one side for females. And it's extremely old-fashioned here. This cemetery is very important. There's a lot of Revolutionary War history here, and a lot of exorcisms that was taking place. I'm sure there has been cults here, doing occult studies and such, just like any haunted place. But, also Lorraine and Ed Warren are also buried here as well. It's, as you start walking into the cemetery here, you notice that there's an instant drop in temperature here. And a lot of that has to do with the spirit activity here, using the energy, using the heat to, manifest itself. So a lot of times when you walk into a room and it becomes very cold, a spirit's not inside there, but it's more of an imprint of the spirit that just took the heat out of the room, like it took advantage of taking that element out of the room to actually manifestation. So as you walk in here, it starts to get colder and colder and colder. But this is a very, very active place here. Right when I get to this point right now is like a brick wall of supernatural just smacks me in the face. It's a very strong energy. Vision starts getting murky, almost like static television, as silly as that sounds. But there's something about distortion, white noise, and static that makes it easy for spirits to be able to communicate through for whatever reason. And as funny as it sounds, my vision kind of becomes very murky when in a haunted situation that's very static like as well. I think I speak for a lot of clairvoyant folks that go through the snow vision, as we call it. So, but anyway, we'll take a walk down here. Temperature drops even colder over here. As we're walking the graveyard here, I am seeing all the spirits here they're curious about our presence here. And you know, this place is just loaded. It's not dead, but very much alive. This graveyard is not dead. You know, very much alive here. And they're very curious. So right now, we're gonna go give Lorraine and Ed Warren a hello. And we'll just step on through this way over here. Getting colder now. I could see in that area, there's a temporary portal right now in that area I could see over there. With my third eye, I'm able to see this. With my third eye, I'm able to see auras. With my third eye, I'm able to see apparitions. And, you know, with my third eye, very often I have successfully done remote viewing. Remote viewing is like when I'm in one place in the physical here, and I could be all the way across the world watching something else. The last time I performed the remote viewing process, I was in Ansonia, Connecticut, and you know, I was in California at the same time. That's part of my shamanic ability, if you say. But the third eye is a very important part of the psychic extension, you know. There's also the third ear, there's the third scent, and there's the third touch, you know. And, you know, there's not just the third eye, if you think about it. The third self, that's what it is. It's the third self. It's not just your vision. All your senses are on an amplified scale. They're so amplified that you're able to see things, smell things, and hear things that normal people can't pick up on. And your sense of perception gets altered to the extreme. And what it is, you know, shamans or psychic or swami people, or some call us indigo folks, we're born on a altered state of awareness and consciousness, a higher consciousness. And our senses are amplified, and we see things on a more detailed scale, so we say. So right now we're gonna go visit Ed and Lorraine and give them a nice hello. How are you? How have you been? How you doing? And it's a very, very interesting little monument over here for them. You could see here. Temperature drops. So this is the gravestone here of paranormal pioneers Ed and Lorraine Warren here. And as you can see, they leave them stuff here. I believe Ed, I believe he was originally Jewish, and then he converted to Catholicism. And that's why you see those rocks and pennies, because that's a Jewish tradition to put stones and pennies on the grave here. But as you can see, there's Lorraine Warren. I had an experience here one night, actually, when I was asking them for a sign, or should I say asking Ed, because Lorraine was still alive at the time. And I turned on my flashlight and I pointed it at the grave, and I heard something in the woods, and I turned to the woods and my flashlight went out. So I pointed it back on, it turned on. Every time I pointed it over there, it turned on. Every time I pointed it over there, it turned off. It did this about 50 times. So it was definitely Ed giving us some kind of sign. We're going to a paranormal portal, which is right in the upper right-hand corner of the cemetery. And as we go step into the portal, you will feel a drastic drop in the temperature. Recently, I was just talking to a friend, Sean Austin from Ghost Loop and Demon Files on Travel Network. And he even said this place was a paranormal portal. Now, not many people, this is not a known paranormal portal. This is something that I just knew personally by experience it. But Sean Austin, said he experiences it too. And we didn't even mention it. There was no way. So, I mean, this is definitely, I was spot on being a paranormal portal. And often people see the White Lady, which is a very big urban legend around here. And I got some news for you. She is absolutely real. I have photographic evidence of her. So as we're going to come in here, you'll see the temperature is going to really drop if you thought it was cold over there. And it's very likely that there'll be some spirits on the camera in the background. But the White Lady, basically nobody knows who the White Lady is. There's no history on who she is. She predates the 1800s. I believe she predates the 1800s. And apparently she had a husband that murdered her. And he buried her in the swamp. And for some reason, she just haunts this whole area. As a matter of fact, the pizza restaurant across the street, the owners will tell you, he's a Greek guy. Never believed in any of this stuff. He always thought that this was a bunch of bull, this White Lady stuff in the cemetery across the street, till he was taking out the garbage and saw her floating over the dumpster, like hovering over it for whatever reason. He was shocked. It's once you break the point of myth and reality, it changes your whole perception, like on the world, like somebody normal perception like that man. It opened up his mind, seeing, a disembodied spirit, an apparition like that. But right this way, we're going to step into the portal here. And you can feel the temperature drop here, which is very interesting because right here we're standing in a portal, a doorway from, the supernatural realm to the physical realm here. And this is a way for spirits to leap in and out of our dimension and their dimension. So we're here in the third dimension, and they're really technically between the third and the fourth. There are 3.5 dimensions, right? People like me were born with the ability to be a foot. If this is the third dimension, people like me are right here. We are born with the ability to leap into other dimensions. Everybody has this ability, but us ones like this were naturally born with this ability to do so. And that's, we're definitely interdimensional travelers. Many of us have outer body experience and astral projection. Astral projection is when your soul flies out of your body and you're able to, travel interdimensions and such stuff like that. So, but anyway, the White Lady haunts the hell out of this area. And, we do many expeditions here, the Ghost Storm Investigations team. We're at a very important part of Stepney Cemetery here in Monroe, Connecticut, home of the White Lady and many other spirits. This right here, the shack you see here, it's not just any old shack. This actually was an isolation booth right here for people to reconcile and spend time alone here. As you can see, there's a crucifix actually on top over here, and now it's used as a storage shed for, you know, the keeper, but originally this was an actual isolation booth, like a chamber where people spend hours and hours alone, deep in their thoughts about reconciling about things that they did. Thank you for joining us tonight at our supernatural expedition here at Stepney Cemetery. I'm glad you learned plenty of knowledge, and if you have any questions, you can look me up on my website, which is vagaparanormal.com. That's VAGA paranormal.com. Join us soon in the near future on some more psychic, supernatural adventures that will be going on. We're going to be investigating some more enigmas and some more mysterious places here in the most haunted state in the United States, Connecticut.